Monster Jam fans, welcome back out here to another video. Now, the time has almost already come where we are halfway through the main first quarter season of Monster Jam, and the World Finals is starting to approach us pretty quickly as we are now under 4 months away. So as we do yearly for our 4th year in a row, I'm going to be posting a video of my predictions of who I believe will be making it into the Monster Jam World Finals lineup, as well as some stuff I would like to see for that weekend. So let's go ahead and jump right into my lineup prediction. First up on my prediction for the lineup will be Jim Kohler and Avenger. Now, Jim, he's been off the charts this season. And, it's not a World Finals without Jim Kohler, so definitely he deserves to be in this field. And this year, I think he's having probably his best season, probably of the decade. This is probably about as good as the season that he had back like in 2021. That was another great season for him. But so far, of the whole 2020s decade, and this has definitely been Jim's best season. He already has 2 stadium freestyle wins coming from Houston, Texas, show 1, and Detroit, Michigan, show 2. And he's just been great and consistent all throughout the season, providing some very good wow moments. He's also done good in racing, having a few semifinals and even a final round appearance before. And he's also done really good in skills. He's been trying more bicycles this year, like doing maybe some bicycles into the sidewall saves. So, Jim has been he's just been doing awesome this year. He's been one of the biggest drivers to look out for, and he's probably been one of the best performing independents this year. So, I definitely's got to get a shot to make it in World Finals. Next up, we've got Cole Bernard in Black Pearl. Another independent driver who has also really done well and stepped up his game. It felt like ever since the 2020s decade started, ever since the pandemic, Cole has kind of been on a slow downhill fall, especially last year. Last year was definitely not his best season after getting injured and just having a bit of struggles last year. But I think this year, Cole is definitely also having his probably best season of the whole entire decade. Now, he may not be getting as many wow moments as Jim Kohler, but he's still been performing consistently. He's been very fast in racing all year long, even making it to like final rounds in Anaheim and St. Louis, and even getting a racing competition win in Miami, Florida, show 1. And he's also done really good in skills. He even got a bicycle to moonwalk back in one of the St. Louis shows, and has been performing consistently there. And then freestyle has mainly been where it's at with Cole. Now, Cole has had some struggles in freestyle this year, without a doubt, especially in places like Tampa, Anaheim, Arlington. He has had his struggles. But overall, this season has been pretty good for Cole. He has 2 stadium freestyle wins this year, coming from St. Louis show 2 and Anaheim show 5. And he's had many other great freestyle runs throughout the season. He's been getting big air, being consistent. He also nailed his first walk the plank backflip this year since 2023, back in Minneapolis, show 1. So this year's been off the charts and good for Cole. Now, his other seasons, like 2023 or 2022, they definitely weren't bad seasons, but they were nothing compared to like what Cole had in 2019, which 2019 was probably still one of Cole's best seasons he's ever had in Monster Jam. But this year's definitely up there with it with one of Cole's best years. His truck is dialed in. He's been working good, and I hope Cole can have a strong finish to the season in Seattle, Atlanta, Denver, and Inglewood, and he can lock himself another invite into the World Finals. Next up, we've got Camden Murphy and Classroom Crusher. Now, I think Camden Murphy's had a good season this year. He's been a tiny bit more consistent. He's gotten some overall wins and some freestyle wins, such as back last weekend in Indianapolis, show 2. I think he also got like a freestyle win and an overall win back in one of the San Diego shows. So Camden's been doing good and performing consistently this year. Now he's not really at the top. As you can say, he's not at near the top of the point standings. But he still had a really good and consistent season. We really want to see him back in the Monster Jam World Finals, and we really want to see how he can do in this all-new Classroom Crusher truck, as Camden is right now currently probably one of the best drivers as of right now to not have a Monster Jam World Finals championship. So we hope that can change and Camden can get into the World Finals and do well and possibly try to win something, probably freestyle. So, we can't wait for that, and we hope Camden can have a strong finish to the season and get another invite into the World Finals. Next up, we've got Cody Saucier and Dragon. Now, Cody's been in the arenas now for these past 4 years now. Cody has been reduced to now been competing in arenas. But this year, I have to say, has probably been Cody's best year on arenas, probably ever since 2022. I've really been liking his performance. It looks like he's really trying hard against some of these tough competitors like Weston Anderson and Brianna Mahan. He's been doing really well, especially in some of the bigger arena floors that we saw, such as like in Tacoma. He did really good there. Also, I think had some good performances also in Fargo and in Reno. And he's also just always been very fast in racing. And Cody's just been doing good this year. He's even picked up some overalls, and he definitely deserves an invite back to the World Finals. And it looks like he's going to actually have a season where he fully completes his arena tour without having to leave to go fill in on a different tour, whether it be to go drive El Toro Loco or Max D. It looks like so far that is not going to happen this year. We hope it stays that way so Cody can have a great finish to his tour on Arena Series West and get himself another invite to the Monster Jam World Finals. Next up, we've got Armando Castro and El Toro Loco, the defending World Skills Championship. Armando Castro has now got his first full season in stadiums, and he's definitely been doing well, having many great freestyle runs, such as in Houston Show 3, Jacksonville, and even Indianapolis Show 2, just to name a few. Now, there has been some times where he has had some struggles, such as he may have hit the dumpsters a couple times during his backflips, causing his run to end early, such as in Indianapolis Show 2 and in Orlando. So, but hopefully Armando will have a strong finish ending to the season on his first time on a stadium tour and make it to the World Finals, as he definitely deserves it. And this year's been a pretty good season for him on his first ever full time in a stadium, rocking out that brand new El Toro Loco body. Next up, we've got Weston Anderson in Gravedigger. Now, Weston Anderson has been off the charts yet again this year. He's been doing really well, especially in some of these West Coast arena shows that I definitely do have to say the West Coast arenas are definitely way bigger than the ones on the East Coast, and Weston Anderson's probably getting a chance this year to do his first full West tour on arenas. Now, he has done a couple of West Coast arenas before in the past, such as in years past, like in Las Vegas in 2022, as well as he drove in 2024. He did some West Coast arena shows back in Las Vegas again, as well as other cities like Los Angeles, Fresno, Vancouver, just to name a few. So, but this year he got to do his first full time, and he's been doing well, getting a chance to stretch his legs a tiny bit more compared to what he had on the Central or East Coast arena tours. And some of the arenas he's been getting massive air, like in places like possibly like Fresno or Portland. He did some really good stuff. He also did really good in Albuquerque just this past weekend. And of course, his big highlights of the season came from some of those bigger arenas in Reno, Tacoma, and Fargo. Especially Tacoma Show 5. That was an awesome freestyle run he laid down, as well as in Fargo Show 1. Those freestyles were absolute killers, and we can't wait to see Weston Anderson can come back out to the World Finals this year, and hopefully get some redemption, hopefully definitely in the freestyle competition. So, because, World Finals 21 and World Finals 22 were such great freestyles for him in the stadium setting, and, we really want to see Weston Anderson lay down another great stadium freestyle run like those, and we hope he can try to do that this year. And you can tear that Gravedigger truck apart. And we think Weston's going to clinch his series very soon. Probably he's got a pretty big points gap over everybody else. So I would not be surprised if we soon see Weston Anderson clinching that series championship and locking his fourth invite to the Monster Jam World Finals. Next up, to keep the Gravedigger train going, we've got Adam Anderson and Gravedigger. Now, Adam had a very slow start to the season, with having lots of truck problems on Gravedigger 42. after its strong debut back in the Glendale and Houston October shows from last year. But in around Tampa is when Adam Anderson really started to pick things up, and he started performing really well, and even collecting wins such as the overall event championships in both Tampa shows, as well as a freestyle win in El Paso. And Adams has been really improving and stepping it up, especially in freestyle ever since Tampa. He's been doing really well, nailing many more backflips, even having a really good Crash Madness of the Year, possibly nominee back in Minneapolis, Minnesota show 2. So, we cannot wait. It's Adams' 20th year driving Monster Jam. We cannot wait to hopefully see him back at World Finals this year, and we cannot wait to watch him tear it up in his all-new Gravedigger 42 chassis. Next up, we've got Matt Cody in Gravedigger. Now, last year, I kind of think Matt Cody was maybe slightly robbed from the World Finals invite. I mean, don't get me wrong, Dalton did deserve it, but I wish Matt Cody made it in along with Dalton Widener. But, Matt Cody, first full-time arena series since 2020 in the United States. He's been competing internationally, driving Gravedigger these past 2 years. So it's been nice to see him back in the States, killing it. Now, he has had some struggles as he did have a chassis change from going from Gravedigger 38 to Gravedigger 39, which was Tyler's old chassis. He's had some struggles and has fallen down a bit in points. But hopefully he can make a comeback and have a strong finish to his season, so that way he can get himself his first ever invite to a Monster Jam World Finals. I really want to see Matt Cody in Gravedigger at a World Finals, and I really just want to watch him compete, make it into World Finals, and tear it up on that track. I really want to see it, and I hope this can be the year we can finally see Matt Cody in the World Finals main field, because he has made some World Finals in the past, competing in the Speedsters back in 2019, and he has had, I believe, 2 Showdown competition appearances back in 2017 and 2018. But we really want him in the main field, as that's where he belongs, and hopefully we can see him there this year. Next up, we have Tyler Menninga in Gravedigger. Tyler Menninga, he has had a bit of an interesting season so far. He has been very fast in racing most of the year, and has even thrown down some decent skills runs, but freestyle has just not been it for Tyler Menninga this year, as he's just been having just lots of issues with his truck. Now, he has had some good freestyles, like in San Antonio, Orlando, and Indianapolis show 2. He's had some awesome freestyle runs, but I feel like as if lately, this year, he's just kind of been struggling, having issues with his new Gravedigger 44. But after his performance in Indianapolis this past weekend, we hope we can push all those issues aside, and Tyler Menninga can go back to the way how he was driving last year. And also, I felt like this track here on Stadium Tour East just does not really scream Tyler Menninga. It doesn't feel like a track Tyler Menninga just, would just cook on and do amazing things on. It just did not feel like a Tyler Menninga track compared to last year or the years, or in the past 2 years prior in 2022 and 2023. But I'm confident he will do well, and he will make his way into the Monster Jam World Finals yet again, and hopefully try to see if he can try to defend his freestyle championship that he won last year. Next up, we've got your current Stadium Tour West points leader and your runner-up from last year's World Finals racing, Tristan England in JCB Digatron. Tristan England has had another great season this year in JCB Digatron, and he's currently on the track to win his first ever Stadium Championship Series. And, it's been a really good year for Tristan. He may not have the wow moments on his tour compared to somebody like Cole Vennard, but he has still been performing and doing consistently well and placing high in the competitions, placing high and winning many skills challenge, making it into the semifinals or the final round a lot in racing, and performing decent in freestyle, finishing in the upper or mid pack by just being consistent. So, some of Tristan's most notable runs from the year definitely came from, I believe, El Paso show 2 and in Minneapolis show 2. So, and Tampa show 2 is also pretty good. And even won freestyle back in Glendale and in Miami show 2. So, we hope to see Tristan England back at the World Finals this year, and hopefully he can enter the World Finals as a Stadium Tour champion, and by winning his tour on Stadium Tour West, as he definitely deserves it, and we need to see Tristan England win his first ever Stadium Championship Series champion. Next up, we've got Dalton Widener in Jurassic Attack. Now, Dalton Widener's definitely had an okay season this year on his first ever stadium tour, but he has had some good highlight moments, such as in San Antonio when he won racing, and he also ended up winning an overall event championship back in Anaheim Show 4. So this year's been really awesome for Dalton on his first stadium tour. Now, he has had some issues in early breaks, such as in Orlando and Jacksonville, but I'm hoping he can have a good, consistent ending to the season to get himself into his second World Finals. As we really want to see that, as it is Salt Lake City, the home of Team Throttle Monster, and we need to have at least one Team Throttle Monster member in this World Finals, and I think that one should be Dalton, and maybe more that we may see coming up, but I definitely do believe Dalton should be in the World Finals this year. Last year, as a World Finals rookie, Dalton did really well, making a round 3 in racing to lose to the future champion Zach Garner in Wildside, or that night's champion Zach Gardner in Wildside, as well as getting a really high finish and having a good freestyle that, in my opinion, got underscored and that should have scored third place. But he's the only driver to drive off the track with no breakage, and one of the only 3 drivers to complete the full 2-minute time in freestyle. So I think he should definitely deserve another invite back to the World Finals. Next up, we've got Cynthia Gauthier and Lucas Stabilizer. I'm really hoping this year's Cynthia Gauthier can make her return to the Monster Jam World Finals after taking a maternity leave last year to have her first child. Big congratulations to her, but we hope she can make it back to World Finals this year. Now, Cynthia on her return, ever since taking off last year, she's done decent for sure, or maybe not as good. Maybe she's not having as good of a season that she may have had like in 2019 or in 2023. But the season's still been pretty decent for her, as she's trying to get back into the swing of things, trying new stuff like bicycles and moonwalks, trying to do more of those. As well as she's been getting better in racing, as she just ended up picking up a racing win last weekend in Indianapolis Show 1. And then in freestyle, she got one win coming from Anaheim Show 4. So, I definitely think Cynthia should get another invite back to the Monster Jam World Finals and make her return for her first time since Nashville in 2023. Next up, we've got Chris Kohler in Mayhem. Now, although, last year, Chris Kohler also was in the World Finals for different reasons. In my opinion, I think Chris Kohler was robbed of a World Finals invite last year. But he still gave it his all trying to make it into the World Finals through the last chance qualifier, and but sadly I think he lost in the semifinals to, I believe, either David Olfert in Velociraptor or Mike Christensen in Vendetta. But I'm hoping this year he can make it back to World Finals this year, but this time in his own identity of Mayhem that he debuted this year. Chris Kohler's had a really good season in Mayhem so far. Racing, he's been very fast and has definitely improved in racing, making it all the way to the final round in Jacksonville, Florida, only to lose to Barry Musauer and Zombie. In skills, he's done really good, trying to do more tombstones. He's gotten really good at moonwalks. As, in my opinion, he was robbed of that skills win back in Jacksonville as well. And in freestyle, he's done really well as well. Although maybe his freestyles weren't as good as the ones we saw in 2023, he still laid down some pretty good freestyles. Mainly the best ones from my eyes and the ones that were most memorable were his 2 winning freestyle runs from back in the California shows in San Diego Show 1 and the debut show of Mayhem, as well as in his other freestyle win that he got in Anaheim Show 3. So I'm hoping Chris Kohler can get some more wins in Mayhem this year. He can collect some more wins. some more wins before the season wraps up, and he can lock himself an invite to the next Monster Jam World Finals this year in Salt Lake City. Next up, we've got Todd LeDuc in Megalodon. Now, I do know this is a controversial pick because Todd LeDuc has not had his best performance this year. Now, sure, at the beginning of the season, I do think Todd was doing really well, as he was laying down some really good freestyle runs with some good wow moments in the first two Anaheim shows, as well as St. Louis. The Florida shows, while he did do consistent yelling backflips, his runs weren't all that special in Miami or Tampa. Then he really cooked and did really well in freestyle in Glendale and in Anaheim Show 5, where he had some of those incredible saves. And Todd's also had some pretty good runs in the Skills Challenge, even picking up a Skills Challenge win back in Miami Show 2. And he's also had some good appearances in racing, making it to round 2 a lot. So, although he hasn't had his best season, I do think Todd LeDuc should be in the World Finals because he's Todd LeDuc in the history he's had at World Finals. He's a two-time champion, and he's laid down many other just awesome freestyle runs at World Finals, such as from World Finals 20 and 21 in Orlando, World Finals 22 in Nashville, and other World Finals that we even saw back in Vegas, like in 2018, 2015. So, Todd definitely deserves an invite back to World Finals to drive Megalodon. And hopefully he can give it his all in World Finals and lay down a run, kind of like what we saw in Glendale earlier this year. He can lay down a really good run and put on a show for the fans. Next up, we've got Bryce Kenny in Monster Mutt. Bryce Kenny's had a phenomenal season this year in Monster Mutt, as he's done really well. He's done really well and consistent most of the season, picking up quite a few freestyle wins, such as from cities like St. Louis and I think he picked up no, I don't think he won. I honestly, I can't remember. I think he won a freestyle thing in either Anaheim or St. Louis. I think he won a freestyle in Anaheim, but I can't remember. I think he may have won in St. Louis, but I can't remember. But I know he did really well in St. Louis. He also got a freestyle win in Glendale and in Arlington. And he's also just had many other great performances throughout. Oh, yeah, that's right. He also got a freestyle win in Minneapolis Show 2. So, he's had many great freestyles. I think all of its freestyle runs from this year from all different cities we have visited have been good so far, except for the Florida shows. I felt like he kind of just had some bad luck in Miami and Tampa. Except in Tampa, although he did have some better luck in Tampa, as he ended up winning racing in Tampa Show 2. And he's always been really fast, consistent racing, making it always either to the semifinals or the final round, and always getting a round 1 bye as well. So he's been really consistent in that competition, as well as being really good in freestyle. Skills hasn't been his best this year, but racing and freestyle have been on point. And we cannot wait to see how he finishes off his season, as I'm really looking forward to seeing how he does in the last 5 or something stops of the tour, as I hope he can do really well. Especially, I'm really looking forward to Seattle and Atlanta, as I cannot wait to see what he can pull off for us in those large tracks. And, we cannot wait, and let's hope Bryce can make it back to the World Finals, this time in Monster Mutt, and trying to get himself a World Championship, and try to have better luck compared to what we've seen the past 2 years in Nashville and Inglewood. Next up, you got your already clinched International Tour champion, Blake Granger in Monster Mutt Dalmatian. The first time since 2022, Blake Granger has made his return to a domestic United States Arena Tour this year for the first time. Although this time, instead of driving Max D, he is driving Monster Mutt Dalmatian. Now, we don't know how things will work when Blake does clinch Arena East and he makes it into the World Finals, as there's rumors he could possibly take up 2 spots. I'm hoping that's not the case. I'm hoping he only takes up 1 spot, and we already have a Megalodon in the field with Todd LeDuc. So to give it some variety, I think he should drive the Monster Mutt Dalmatian, and I hope he rocks it out in Dalmatian and at World Finals. And I think this is a truck he should drive, not Megalodon. So I'm going to have a variety of trucks in the field. As Blake, he's done really good this year. He's had many great moments, and it's been very consistent throughout the season, picking up many wins in the overall event championship, and even having many wins in freestyle and in skills. And he's also sent the puppy dog quite a few times to the sky in sky wheelies, and it's been a really great year for Blake Granger. And he also did really good on that international tour as well over this past year, as he ended up retiring Max D and sending it out with a bang, and even getting a chance to drive other trucks like El Toro Loco and Megalodon, where he did really well in, such as getting some good freestyle wins in Liwa and in Stockholm. And I can't wait to see Blake Granger hopefully have better luck in his second appearance at the Monster Jam World Finals, as last year he definitely did struggle, finishing 6th place in skills, 22nd in freestyle, and not even getting a chance to do his race in round 2 due to truck problems. So I'm hoping this can be the year for Blake Granger that he can do a great job in the World Finals. Next up, we've got Brianna Mahan in Scooby-Doo. Brianna Mahan has had probably one of her best seasons in Monster Jam so far this year on Arena West. Getting a chance to go on to some of those larger floors. She's done really good in some of those larger arena floors like Fresno and Portland, and in Wichita and Oklahoma City, as well as other bigger ones like Tacoma, Reno, and Fargo. She's done really well and picked up a lot of wins and and picked up even a few overall event championships, which is definitely very hard to do against Weston Anderson and Gravedigger. So she's done a really good job, and we hope she can have a great finish to her season, try and jump up in the points, maybe try to see if she can get that 2nd place spot or 3rd place spot and get herself into another World Finals. Last year, she did pretty decent in Inglewood, as she ended up making it to round 3 in racing, and would then end up finishing in doing a pretty good freestyle, though she did get cut short due to a failed backflip. So, great job. So, we hope Brandon Mahan does good and makes it into another Monster Jam World Finals and try to see if she can try to win a World Championship. Next up, we've got Ryan Anderson in Son of a Digger. Definitely an obvious choice to make it into the World Finals. Ryan Anderson's had a really good season this year, as it feels like he's definitely having probably his best season so far ever since maybe 2022, and possibly it's maybe his best season of the entire decade so far, as he's done really well, although he did have a slow start to the season in Anaheim, St. Louis, and Miami. In Tampa, he really started to pick it up, as he ended up winning freestyle in Tampa Show 1 with one of the best saves or best sidewall saves of the whole year, as he spun that truck round and round in Tampa Show 1, and everybody lost their minds, and that was a really good freestyle, and he just continued having great freestyle after great freestyle after great freestyle. After that, doing well in Glendale, Anaheim, also good in Minneapolis, El Paso, and Arlington. It's all been really good, and we hope Ryan can have a strong finish to the season. Hopefully try to either get 1st or 2nd on his series, as I'm really excited to see what he can do in some of the shows coming up, like Seattle, Atlanta, and Inglewood. Some stops I hope he really does good and well in, and I just really love seeing him Ryan perform on this Stadium Tour West track, as he's just done phenomenal on this type of track. I feel like last year just wasn't really a Ryan Anderson track. Last year for him to just do well in and perform and have many wow moments on, compared to this year, as this year has just been really finding his groove, just having great runs with great air and great momentum, and even sometimes throwing a wow moment in there as well, or a crazy crash. So Ryan Anderson definitely deserves another spot back at World Finals this year to do really well. Next up, we've got Jamie Sullivan in Sparkle Smash. Now, Jamie Sullivan has had a pretty decent year this year so far driving Sparkle Smash. May not have been as good as last year driving Monster Dalmatian, but, she has done really well. And although she kind of maybe had a bit of a slower start to the season, I think ever since Grand Rapids, she's really been on fire. And she's really trying to go for that 2nd place spot, or even that 1st place spot on her series, as she's picked up many freestyle and overall event wins. And has had a pretty good year so far in her debut of Sparkle Smash, getting lots of wins. I think she even picked up some racing wins, in lots of freestyle wins as well. And even some skills challenge wins, or maybe even some Sky Relay or Donut competition wins along the way, pulling off some wow factors and getting creative using that confetti cannon, doing it sometimes like during during mid a moonwalk or during a sky wheelie or a donut. Still waiting for her to try to do it while in the middle of doing a backflip. But Jamie, she's been doing really well this year in Sparkle Smash, and I hope she gets another invite back to World Finals. As last year as a World Finals rookie, she did pretty good, making it to round 3 in racing. Before losing to, I can't remember who she lost to in round 3. I think, I honestly, I cannot remember who she lost to in round 3. I think it was David Olford. I think it was David Olford and Velociraptor she ended up losing to in round 3 at World Finals. And then in freestyle, I think she finished in 4th place, rightfully where she belongs, after being one of the only 3 drivers to fill the time, and also nailing the only driver to try and attempt to backflips, although she did not nail that container backflip. She still tried it, and then also last year she got a chance to compete in the October shows, although she didn't have as much in the October Stadium shows, although she didn't have as much of success as she had the previous year. I think she still did a pretty good job, and still did a pretty good job, mainly winning a skills challenge run, skills in Houston, and winning freestyle in Arlington with a consecutive backflip on when nailing her first trench box backflip ramp. So I'm hoping Jamie Sullivan can make it back to the Monster Jam World Finals again this year. Next up, we've got John Zimmer Jr. in Terminal Velocity. Now, John Zimmer Jr., in my opinion, was robbed of a World Finals spot back in 2023 in Nashville. I think he should have made it in, and he definitely deserved it over a lot of competitors that made it into the World Finals that year. In my opinion, that year he probably deserved it over Kristen Anderson, Lindsey Reed, Kayla Blood, Ryan Disharoon, and maybe even some other competitors in that lineup. He definitely deserved a spot in there over. And, I'm really hoping this can be the year he can finally make it back in the World Finals. He's currently in the lead right now on his tour on Arena Central, and he's just been doing really well lately. It's been a close battle. I'm in the battle with drivers like Fernando Martinez, Matt Cody, and Jamie Sullivan. But I'm really hoping this can finally be the year when John Zimmer Jr. can finally win an arena tour, as I really want to see it happen. I really badly want to see John Zimmer Jr. win the series this year. I'm hoping Jamie Sullivan gets second. I'm really hoping John Zimmer Jr. can get first on his tour, and he continue having good runs. He's done really good, winning a lot of timed racing competitions. He's been doing really good there. He's also been doing really good in skills, picking up a lot of competitions there, and getting lots of wins in freestyle, as he's been now, including more backflips, and he's been consistent, winning more overall event championships. So as long as we keep the expert judge on this tour and John Zimmer Jr. can keep nailing backflips and hopefully not getting robbed by the judges, I think John Zimmer Jr. may have this one in the bag, and he's going to win his series this year and finally get a shot at a Monster Jam World Finals, as he definitely deserves it. I think he deserves it whether he wins his tour or he doesn't win his tour. I think he definitely deserves it. Next up, we've got Colt Stevens in Thunder Wars. Colt Stevens, it looks like he's been really dialed into the truck this year. He is your reigning high jump champion, and I just feel as if this year, him and Shelby Fisher just got that truck dialed in. He looks very comfortable in the truck this year, as he's just been laying it down, in my opinion, getting robbed from some freestyle wins, such as in Houston Show 3, and in Indianapolis Show 2. I think he was robbed of freestyle wins. And he's also just had many other great freestyle wins throughout the season, especially in shows like Orlando and Jacksonville. As he's been doing really consistent, doing really well on the track. He's been driving on, just getting lots of just huge air. And just getting lots of huge air and having great momentum and great consistent runs in Thunder Wars. So, I think he definitely deserves another spot at the World Finals this year. And I'm really hoping he can do really well and try to win something this year. Probably try to win that high jump, try to see if he can win it 2 years in a row. Or I think he can maybe try to go and try to get a freestyle win. as he's been doing really well in that competition. I think if he can do well, I think he's got a shot to win another Freestyle World Championship this year. So, I can't wait, and I hope Colt Stevens can have a strong finish to the season and make it back to the World Finals. Next up, we've got Zach Garner and Wildside, your defending World Finals racing champion. Zach Garner has been on a whole nother level this year. As last year, he ended up having a pretty good season, winning his World Finals Racing Championship and having a phenomenal run with possibly Crash Madness of the Year from Glendale, Arizona. So I'm really hoping Zach gets another shot to be in World Finals this year. I definitely think he should be in there, especially since he's a defending World Racing Champion and all the success he's had so far this year. He has 2 stadium freestyle wins, mainly coming from Tampa Show 2 and El Paso Show 2. He's also just been performing good and consistent. He may have had a slow start to the season in Anaheim, although he did have a nice save in one of those freestyle competitions. I think ever since St. Louis, Zach has been consistent, has been really throwing it down in freestyle. St. Louis, Miami, Tampa, Glendale, Anaheim, Minneapolis. Okay, Minneapolis was a bit decent for him. It wasn't as good as some of the other stops, but I think he had a good freestyle run in Minneapolis, show 1. El Paso, Arlington especially, were just all really good runs from Zach, and I'm really excited to see how he may perform in tracks like Seattle and Atlanta. And I'm really hoping Zach can have a strong finish to the season. Maybe try to get a couple more wins in there. Maybe try to get maybe try to get a skills win, or maybe even try to get a racing win as well. And maybe even another freestyle win, hoping lock it in and get himself another try to get himself another World Finals appearance and try to defend his World Racing Championship by trying to win back-to-back years. Last up on my prediction for the lineup is your current Stadium Tour East points leader, Bari, Musauer, and Zombie. Now, I'm really hoping Bari can make it back to the Monster Jam World Finals this year. Bari's been having one of his best seasons, probably his best season since 2022. And he's been really consistent, really dominating. He's just been getting really better and better in the truck this year. He's been having lots of freestyle wins, mainly in San Diego, Orlando, his hometown, and in Jacksonville. He's gotten those freestyle wins. He's also gotten some racing wins, such as also in Orlando and Jacksonville. And it's just been a great, consistent season for Bari. He's been really consistent in freestyle, laying down some huge air, as well as getting lots of backflips in there, with lots of moonwalks, backflip to moonwalk combos that he's been trying this year. So it's been an awesome year for Bari, and I'm really hoping he can win his tour and get himself, as Bari, he's been competing on points championships, and he's been competing on championship series here in Monster Jam ever since the very beginning in 2015. He is one of the only 2 drivers who have competed on a points championship every year since 2015. The only other driver that has done that but alongside him is Jim Kohler. So, Bari, having competed on a tour every single year, I think he's due for a championship. And I'm really hoping this year will be the year when Bari will win that championship and get himself another invite to World Finals. And hopefully he can try to win. Hopefully he can try to win racing, as he's made it very far in the racing bracket multiple times and not win. I think he made it to round 3 in both World Finals 17 and World Finals 19. In fact, I believe in World Finals 19 he may have made it to the semifinals in racing. And then, I think he lost in round 3 in 2018. And then 2019 made it to the final round and possibly got robbed of that World Racing Championship. And then he made it all the way to, I believe, round 3 again in Nashville last year. And he also made it to the semifinals last year, barely missing that podium spot in last year's World Finals. And he also got 3rd place in last year's World Finals Freestyle. So I think Bari's due for a Stadium Series Championship and a World Finals Championship. So I'm hoping he can win his tour and get that automatic invite into the World Finals this year. With that being said and done, it is now time to look at who I think will make it into the Last Chance qualifier. First up, we got Joe Foley in Axe. Now, Joe Foley, he hasn't had as good of a season this year compared to last year when he drove El Toro, but Joe Foley still had some of those freestyle Foley moments coming from cities such as San Antonio. He had some good freestyles there. San Diego, and Jacksonville as well. He's had some great freestyle runs. So I'm hoping he can make it back. Although it is a racing competition, I'm hoping Joe Foley can be put back in here into this competition, and he can try to make it into the World Finals, as we need to see Joe Foley in the Last Chance qualifier. Next up, we've got Jamie Garner in El Toro Loco. Jamie Garner has had another good season this year, maybe one of his best since 2023 or 2021. And he's been way more consistent this year, as he's got a stadium freestyle competition win back in Anaheim. He's been trying new things, such as doing the backflip on the first attempt, as he's been doing that since the October Glendale show from last year. So I'm really hoping Jamie can get a shot in the Last Chance qualifier. While he may not have been as good in racing, he has been really good in freestyle, and I really want to see, hopefully he can try to make it into this competition and try to win and make it back into the Monster Jam World Finals. Next up, we've got Michael Pagliarulo in Excalibur. Now, Michael has been on a whole nother level this year, and I wish we had a bigger lineup, so that way Michael could get a shot to, as if the lineup was bigger, I definitely would have put him in in there, but, I'm going to stick him into the Last Chance qualifier here, as I think he'll make it, and I hope he can win. Although he may not be one of the fastest racers, he still can be pretty fast sometimes, such as what we saw in the first Anaheim show of the year. He was very fast in that racing competition, as well as what we saw in El Paso, not El Paso, but Arlington, where he nearly made it to the semifinals, but sadly got a 5-second penalty. And Mike's also just had a pretty good season all year round, as he's had many great freestyle runs, even to winning freestyle runs from Miami Show 1 and Minneapolis Show 1, and many other great freestyle runs coming from shows like in such as in Tampa Show 1, St. Louis, Tampa Show 2, Glendale, Minneapolis Show 2, which he was robbed a freestyle win of, El Paso, Texas, Arlington, Texas. Yeah, he just had mainly El Paso for Show 1. And he also had, I think he had a pretty good freestyle run in Anaheim Show 5. So, I really hope Michael can get in the Last Chance qualifier, and I really hope he can win, because I really want to see Michael Pagliarulo lay down a good freestyle run in Excalibur and get Excalibur into its first ever World Finals appearance. Next up, we've got Kristen Anderson in Gravedigger. Kristen Anderson, though, kind of a surprise pick to put here, but Kristen, currently in 4th place on her season. I really do not think she's good enough to make it into the World Finals this year. Automatically, I think she may have to earn it a bit more by going into the Last Chance qualifier. Now, this year has been decent for Kristen, but she's kind of been overshadowed, in my opinion, by drivers. And it's just gotten outbeaten by other drivers like MJ Solario, Brandon Teluchka, Tony Oaks, and Blake Granger and MJ Solario. So, honestly, I don't think Kristen Anderson really deserves a spot to the World Finals this year. So I'm hoping she can make it, though, into the Last Chance qualifier and try to see if she can try to get a racing win, as she has gotten a few racing wins so far on her tour this year, and try to make it into the main field. Next up, we've got Matt Pagliarulo in Jester. Now, Matt hasn't had the season like he had last year, and he's been plagued with lots of truck problems. However, he still has had many great freestyle runs, coming from all 4 of the Anaheim shows, Arlington, Minneapolis Show 2, and St. Louis Show 1. He's really thrown it down in freestyle, and I'm really hoping he can make it into the Last Chance qualifier. Matt Pagliarulo is one of the best drivers to have probably never made it into a World Finals. So I'm really hoping Matt Pagliarulo can make it into the Last Chance qualifier, and maybe have that truck dialed in, and hope he can try to win racing and make it into that main field, as we really want to see him there. As we really want to see Jester in a World Finals competition at some point. And I'm really hoping this year can maybe be the year for Matt Pagliarulo and Jester to make it in the Last Chance qualifier, hopefully try to win and make it into the main field. Next up, we've got Nick Pagliarulo and Kraken. Now, Nick hasn't had the season like he had back in back in 2023, but he still had a pretty good season this year. Here, as he's been really good in freestyle this year, especially in shows like Miami Show 1, Miami Show 2. Um, let's see here. Tampa Show 2, Glendale, Anaheim Show 5, and Arlington were just all really great freestyle runs for Nick, especially Arlington. It looks like he just had that truck dialed in, and I hope Nick can have a strong finish to the season. Maybe try to get a freestyle win in there. I'm really hoping him and Matt can get a freestyle win in there and make his way into the last chance qualifier, and hopefully have that truck dialed in, and hopefully try to be fast and try to win that competition. Next up, we've got Kevin Crocker and Megalodon. Kevin Crocker has not been known as a racer that much, and he may not have had his best season this year, but I think he definitely is the driver who's definitely put in the most effort, probably so far this year. Out of all the drivers, he's definitely put in the most effort to win and do well so far. So I'm definitely hoping Kevin Crocker can make it into the Monster Jam Monster Jam Finals last chance qualifier this year, as he definitely deserves it after all the effort he's put in, and he's even had some pretty good successful freestyle runs, mainly coming from, I believe, San Diego Show 2, Anaheim Show 5 when he had that crazy backflip, as well as I think he also had a pretty good run and good start to his run, at least in Detroit Show 2. And he also had a really good freestyle run in Jacksonville as well. So I'm really hoping we can see Kevin Crocker back in the last chance qualifier for his first time, and try to see if we can get a shot to try to make it into the main field. Next up, we've got Ashley Sanford and Megalodon. Ashley kind of had a slower start to the season, but I think ever since around Oklahoma City or Wichita, she's been really picking it up and has been doing really well, and I really want to see her back in the last chance qualifier again. And I really want to see her do well and try to win that competition, and maybe try to get her shot at a main field appearance in Megalodon. As I really hope she can do it, and I'm really hoping she makes it in. She's had a pretty good year this year, despite competing up against other tough competitors like Weston Anderson, Cody Saucier, Brandon Mahan, Devin Winfield, Tim Hall Jr., Berto Trevino. I still think she's done really well and deserves a shot here in the last chance qualifier. Next up, we got Kayla Blood and Sparkle Smash. Now, surprisingly, we do not have her as a pick in the main field, as I felt as if Kayla has really struggled this year and has had lots of truck problems. Although she has had some wow moments and has had some good freestyle runs, she just has not done that well this year. I feel like she's having just lots of truck problems, and her truck is just really not dialed in. And most of the time when she's done a backflip, her truck just like crashes and just has lots of breakage, such as what we've seen in shows. I think she had a backflip. She crashed in one of the Minneapolis shows, Tampa Show 1, Anaheim Show 5. Although she has had 2 clean backflips, such as in Arlington and St. Louis Show 1. St. Louis Show 1 probably being her best freestyle run so far of the season, and she had a wild crash and sidewall save also in Miami Show 2. So I'm really hoping Kayla Blood can make it at least into the last chance qualifier. I don't think we need to see her in the main field this year, but I'm really hoping she can make it into the last chance qualifier and try to get a shot to earn her way into the main field and make it a bit harder. I originally probably did have her in my lineup, but I swapped her out for the Sparkle Smash driver for World Finals out for Jamie Sullivan, as I realize Jamie's having a much better season than Kayla, and I think Kayla just needs to be in the last chance qualifier for this year. Next up, we've got Tony Oaks and Thunder Roars. Now, kind of like what we've seen earlier with other drivers, such as, Michael Pagliarulo and even Kayla Blood. If the lineup was bigger and there was more trucks, I would definitely have put him in there. But because it is not, I will sadly just have to leave him be in the last chance qualifier. As I'm really hoping Tony Oaks can make it in and try to get a win and make it into the main field. As Tony Oaks is also up there with Matt Pagliarulo to be one of the best drivers of all time to have not made it into World Finals. Tony Oaks had a pretty good season this year, although it's been hard against Blake Granger. He still had a pretty good season. I believe he's in 3rd place right now on his tour. So I'm hoping he can try to lock out that 2nd place spot and get himself a spot into the World Finals last chance qualifier and try to win to get himself into the main field. Next up, we've got Devin Winfield in Velociraptor. Devin Winfield has had a pretty good season this year. His best ever probably so far. He nailed a backflip in Reno, one of the Reno shows. And he's also just been really consistent, doing way better in skills, throwing the steering wheel out the window a lot, and it's having great balance on those front two BKT tires. And he's just been getting better in freestyle with his. I believe his truck is this year is way better and is way more dialed in compared to the one that he was driving last year. So I definitely do think Devin Winfield definitely deserves a shot to try to get into the last chance qualifier, because it is Utah, the Salt Lake City, the home for Team Throttle Monster. We definitely need a heavy Team Throttle Monster appearance in World Finals this year. I think we need to have Dalton in the main field, Devin here in the last chance qualifier, and maybe even one other Team Throttle driver we'll probably be seeing up next that should be in the last chance qualifier, which is Mike Christensen in Vendetta. Now, if Mike was having a better season, if he had, well, I mean, he's been doing better as of late, but if he had a better season, if he was having a better season and, doing better and, there's more room in the lineup, I definitely would have put him in there. But sadly, I have to put him out here back in the last chance qualifier again. Last year, Mike made it into the LCQ and made it all the way to the final round before ended up losing to his teammate David Olfert in Velociraptor. So, I definitely think Mike deserves another shot at the LCQ to try to win, and we definitely need to see Mike in Vendetta in World Finals in the Team Throttle Monsters hometown. That is something we desperately need to see. He's been better as of late ever since he changed his header. As he's been running more of a muffler instead of the TMS header as of lately. Although he did have some luck in the TMS headers, such as in San Diego Show 3. Ever since he's been running that new muffler he's just been having better luck, and he's been throwing down many great freestyle runs, such as in shows like such as Detroit Show 1, where he ended up winning freestyle, as well as Jacksonville and Indianapolis Show 1. So I'm hoping Mike can have a strong ending and close out to the season, and he can try to make it into the last chance qualifier and hopefully win and get himself an invite to the main field. And it's now time for our missing out drivers here. First up, we got Tim Hall Jr. in Jurassic Attack. I wish I really could have put him in there, but it's too tight of a spot, and he is a rookie, and rookies may not be the best to put into the last chance qualifier, sadly, and there just wasn't enough room. I wish there was more room, but sadly, there's not, so we're just going to put Devin Winfield here, and not Devin Winfield, but Tim Hall Jr. here in the last chance qualifier, and hopefully, maybe this year, I can maybe be wrong, and I hope he makes it in. I really hope he does. Hopefully, I'm wrong, and he makes it in, but he may not make it in. But he's had a pretty good season this year, winning an overall back in Fargo, and picking up other competition wins here and there. But hopefully he makes it. Hopefully I'm wrong. But as of right now, I'm gonna have to put him in the missing out segment. Fernando Martinez. I mean, this year just hasn't been Fernando's best season so far. He's kind of down in points in 4th place. Even though he has been nailing backflips, it just hasn't really been as well of a season Fernando has really wanted, so I don't think he'll be able to make it. MJ Solario, I also really wish he can make it, as well as he's also had a really good season as well, driving El Toro Loco. He's been on fire. He's been doing more combinations in the skills challenge, and he's been nailing a lot of backflips in freestyle, and just been laying it down in freestyle. That's doing really well, and I really wish he could make it, but I just sadly do not think this will be the year for MJ Solario to make it into the last chance qualifier. Hopefully I'm wrong and he does make it, but as of right now, I don't think he'll make it. Hopefully next year he'll get a shot at it. Next, we've got Charlie Plotkin and Gravedigger. I mean, there just wasn't enough room to put any other international drivers on this thing, so it's a bit of a shame that we will not see Charlie Plotkin again in the World Finals for the 3rd year in a row. Hopefully I'm wrong and they put him in somehow, and he can be driving Gravedigger, but that most likely may not happen, so no, he's just going to have to be in the last chance qualifier as of now. He's just going to have to be missing out as of now. We got Brandon Telechka and Just Get Her Done too. Now, I'm not sure if I'm supposed to leak this. This may have been leaked already out online, but it looks like the Telechkas will not be present and will be at an independent show the weekend of World Finals. So, sadly, he will be missing out. I would have put him in LCQ if it weren't for that, but, so sadly, he's going to have to, miss out this year because he decided to choose an independent show, which may be understandable because from Wisconsin to Utah is very far away, and he may not want to go there just to be on display or to only compete in last chance qualifiers. So, it looks like sadly Brandon Teleshko will have to sadly miss out, even though he's been doing really well this year. Next up, we got Triton Robbins and Crazy Train. Same situation. The Robins also have an independent show the weekend of World Finals, which is kind of a shame. I really wish they could be out there as Triton Robbins has been doing really good this year, picking up lots of wins and lots of overall event championships. He even got a Sky Wheelie win as well, and has been doing awesome in the Skills Challenge, doing lots of combinations, and has even gotten some racing wins as well. So it is definitely a shame that Triton Robbins won't be there, but it is understandable because New York to Utah is quite far for them, and they may not want to do it just for display or to just be in last chance qualifier. Next up, we've got Michaela Telechka and Megalodon. Michaela's definitely having her best season so far this year, as she's gotten some donut wins and even a racing win in Providence, Rhode Island. And she has been having a better season. She's been doing way better moonwalks this year, having less truck issues, and has even been trying to lay down some more bicycles. I'm really hoping Michaela, though, even though she will not be at World Finals because they'll be busy at an independent show, I'm really hoping Michaela will just have a strong, I'm really praying and hoping that she can have a strong finish to her season, and I hope she can try to get a freestyle win, an overall win, and maybe even try to nail a backflip. Next up, we got Berto Trevino and Monster Rottweiler. I mean, I really wish I could put him in the last chance qualifier if there was more room. But sadly, there isn't. But Berto, he has been doing really well this year. Yes, he's been getting lots of big air and freestyle, especially in stops like Portland and I think Wichita. And he's been did really well in those stops. But I sadly don't think he'll be able to make it in this year. Sadly, I really wish he did, especially because we're on the home of Team Throttle Monster. But sadly, I just do not think Berto will make it in this year, and will just have to miss out and just be there for a display. Next up, we've got Montana Robinson playing Crazy. Again, he's also done really well like his brother, but again, will be an independent show, so sadly he will miss out. Even after the great season he's had, picking up racing wins and even doing really well in skills. So, it's kind of a shame we will have to miss out on Montana Robbins. Hopefully they can come back. Hopefully whenever the World Finals is either comes back to the East Coast or something, hopefully then we can maybe get a chance to see them there at the World Finals, and hopefully they can try to make it into that LCQ. Next up, we got Mark Hall and Raminator. Mark Hall, he hasn't had his best season this year, so I just don't, sadly, with the staff and talented competition there is, sadly do not think he will be able to make it into the last chance qualifier. He may just have to come on out to World Finals just to be there as a display, which is unknown as of right now. I think it probably will happen, but it's currently unknown because it is a far away from Illinois to Utah. But I think the team has done displays before in California, just for displays, that they've displayed their third chassis there, so they'll be able to do just a random display. And in California, they'd definitely probably be willing to do it for the biggest event of the year of Monster World Finals in Utah. Kurt Kramer, as much and how much in peak it would be if we could see Kurt Kramer be there at World Finals, just be there on display. Probably sadly will not happen, or not on display, but competing last chance qualifier in the main field. It looks like that will just probably not happen this year. It looks like he may just have to go out there to be on display, which is a shame, but hopefully one year maybe we can see Kurt Kramer making the last chance qualifier and try to win and make it into the main field, as that would be peak to see Kurt Kramer in the World Finals main field. But it looks like this year will not be the year that will happen. But I do hope Kurt can have a strong ending to his season, though. But sadly, this looks like this year has not been good enough of a year for Kurt against some of the stacked and competitive competition to make it in. Last up and missing out, we've got John Zimmer Sr. in Zombie. John Zimmer Sr., I mean, I really wish he could make it out to the last chance qualifier to drive Zombie and maybe run a special body, like the Fire body, maybe. But sadly, it just looks like that is just not going to happen this year. But I'm hoping I'm wrong. Zimmer Sr.'s had a good season this year. He even collected the first overall, I believe, of the season back in back in Nashville, and he's exceeded expectations this year. A lot of people didn't think he wasn't going to do well, maybe have him finish in last place. But it looks like that's not the case. He's been doing really well, and hopefully I'm wrong, and hopefully he can make it in the last chance qualifier. But as of now, it just looks like the competitions have just been too stacked this year, and he will not make it in. Next up, it's time for the Skills World Championship. First up, we've got Armando Castro in El Toro Loco. He's obviously got to make it in. After last year's two-wheel run where he did the moonwalk to the backflip, having one of the biggest highlights of that season, and one of the best moves ever, Monster Jam. And he definitely deserves a shot to try to come back to the Skills Championship and try to defend his title. Also, hopefully we can see Armando Castro in the Skills Championship this year. Here, trying to defend his title. Next, we've got Weston Anderson, Gravedigger. He's also been doing really well in two-wheel skills this year. He's been trying to do more of those slap moonwalks that we kind of see and got invented in Anaheim by Ryan Anderson. He's been trying those this season. He's been doing really well at them, so I really hope we can see Weston make it out into the Skills World Championship. Next up, we've got Tyler Menninga and Gravedigger, the 2023 champion. Tyler Menninga, he's one of the pioneers of the two-wheel moves and the skills challenge, so he's definitely obviously got to be in there. He's still probably one of the best at doing it of all time, so he's definitely got to make it in this year to the World Skills Championship, and hopefully he can try to win in some good track conditions that are hopefully not muddy, unlike what happened in Nashville 2 years ago. Next, we've got Tristan England, JCB Digatron. He's also really good at these two-wheel maneuvers. He's just like a robot out there in the truck. He just knows what to do, and he'll just nail it perfectly. He's been doing really good, doing more of those nose flicks this year in skills that he started doing back in Tampa. And he's got many skills wins, and he just knows how to balance that truck on those front two BKT tires or the back two BKT tires. So I think this year, Tristan England definitely needs another shot back in the Skills World Championship. Next, we've got Dylan Whitener in Jurassic Attack. I think he was robbed last year, in my opinion, of being in the Skills Championship. So I'm really hoping he can make it out this year and try to win the Skills World Championship. And I hope he makes it in. And as he really deserves it, it's the home of Team Throttle Monsters, so he definitely deserves to be in this competition because of that. And also, he's been doing really good at skills this year. In my opinion, he's been robbed of quite a few wins in skills, such as in Orlando, as he really knows how to moonwalk the truck and even twist the tires, even giving that fans a little wow moment by throwing that steering wheel out of the window and balancing the truck with no steering wheel. So I think he definitely needs to make it into the skills lineup. Next up, we've got Blake Granger, Monster Dalmatian, who also should be in it. As Blake Granger, he's been doing really well at skills this year. He knows how to do all those combinations, and he knows how to balance the truck. And so I definitely think he needs to be in the Skills Championship and hopefully try to get redemption from last year. Next up, we've got Ryan Anderson in Son of a Digger, who also definitely deserves to be in it. Ryan Anderson's done really good in skills this year, nailing lots of awesome and cool bicycle sidewalls, such as back in Anaheim. And he also nailed a bicycle sidewall in freestyle in Tampa Show 1. And then he also has been doing more of those slap moonwalks as well. He's been getting really good at those, and I think we need to see him in the World Finals to see him try to do moves like that and try to do some wow moment. As Ryan Anderson is one of the pioneers and inventors on the Skills Challenge, and I think out of all the people that have competed in a Skills World Championship, he's probably one of the best to have never won one. So I'm really hoping this year Ryan Anderson can make it back into the Skills World Championship and win it. And I believe it's our last driver, John Zimmer Jr. in Terminal Velocity. John Zimmer Jr. has been doing really good in skills this year, as he really knows how to balance that truck on its front two BKT tires, and he's picked up many wins, and he's even probably been robbed of wins as well. As he's been doing really well, nailing butt kickers, trying bicycles, doing combinations and nose flicks. And I'm really hoping to get some redemption after the mud that we saw in Nashville, which kind of affected the skills challenge last year. So I'm really hoping John Zimmer Jr. can make it back into the skills lineup this year and try to win. Missing out segment here from skills. We've got Zach Garner, Bryce Kenny, Chris Kohler, Jamie Sullivan, and Camden Murphy. Sadly, Zach Garner, I don't think he's had as well of skills as some of these other drivers on this list. And I think will make it, so I sadly do not think he'll make it. Bryce Kenny, I've always really wanted to see him in skills, but sadly, in a Skills World Championship, but sadly, it looks like this may not be the year. The year for that, as the competition this year is really tight, and sadly, he just did not perform as well as these other drivers on this list. Chris Kohler, he has been getting really better at these skills challenge runs this year. He's been doing more slap moonwalks and been getting better at the moonwalks this year and doing tombstones. But sadly, I just do not think it will be enough for him to make it into the Skills World Championship. We got Jamie Sullivan and Sparkle Smash. Sadly, this year it looks like we'll have to go back to having no female drivers in the Skills Challenge lineup, unlike last year when Jamie Sullivan was able to make it. Sadly, this year I just don't think she's been as good as the other drivers on this list to make it into the Skills World Championship, and she will have to miss out. Then Camden Murphy's also had a good year in skills, but sadly it looks like I just do not think he will make it and may have to miss out this year. But hopefully we can see these drivers hopefully either make their return or a first-time appearance in the Skills Challenge World Championship, hopefully sometime in the near future. Next up, we've got high jump. First up for who I think will make it in high jump, Jim Kohler and Avenger. Jim Kohler's been getting a lot more bigger air this year compared to what we've seen in years past, especially in Detroit. So and in San Diego show 2. So I'm really hoping Jim Kohler can make it into the high jump competition this year, because Jim Kohler, he's iconic and is known for big air. So I really think he should be in the high jump competition again this year. Next up, we've got your 2019 champion, Cynthia Gauthier. She's the first high jump champion, and so I definitely think she should be back. And she also had some really good performances in high jump in 2023, where she got second to Ryan Anderson. So I think she needs to be back in the Skills World Championship to try to get not skills, but be back in the high jump competition to try to get another shot at it, and as she definitely does deserve it. Next up, we've got Tyler Duke and Megalodon. Now, sure, he may not have been getting as much big air this year, as really his only big air moments came from Glendale. But I think Tyler Duke should be back in the high jump, because Tyler Duke, also known for big air, especially after what happened in World Finals 15 and World Finals 20. He is just known for big air, and so I think he should be in the high jump lineup just because of that. Just not having Tyler Duke in the World Finals high jump lineup, in my opinion, is just criminal and just not right, because Tyler Duke is just so much known for big air that I think he should definitely, hopefully, make it back to the high jump competition this year for the first time since 2022. Next up, Bryce Kenny and Monster Mutt. Bryce Kenny has been sending it all year long on Stadium Tour West, so he definitely deserves to get a shot to be in the high jump world championship, and I really hope he can make it, as he definitely does deserve it, and especially after getting third place last year. Next up, we've got Ryan Anderson and Son of a Digger, the two-time high jump champion. He's also been sending and getting big air all season long, and he's your two-time high jump champion from 2022 and 2023, so he definitely needs to be back in the high jump competition. Next up, we got Colt Stevens and Thunder Roris, who deserves definitely a shot to win. He's going to be back in high jump. Colt's been getting lots of big air this year, and he is the defending champion. So I'm hoping he can make it back and try to make it 3 years in a row that he's won a world title, and make it 2 in a row for high jump, and get his 3rd World Finals championship, making himself a 3-time World Finals champion. Next up, we've got Zach Garner and Wild Side. Zach Garner, he's going to have a surprise pick, but I'm really thinking Zach definitely deserves to be in high jump this year, especially after the good performance he had, all the big air moments he's had throughout the season. He's just been sending it all season long, and I think because of that, he definitely deserves a shot to make it into the high jump competition and to try to win it. And last up, we got Bari Musauer and Zombie. Bari's had many great high jumps performances in his career, especially in the high jump competition they competed in 2022, when he ended up getting 3rd place. And Barry's just been having lots of big air moments this year, and it's just been sending it all season long. So I definitely do think he deserves a shot at the high jump competition. Missing out segment, we've got Jamie Garner. Don't think he'll make it back this year, even after some of the big air he's had. Nick Pagliarulo, as much as we would have loved to see him in high jump, sadly I just do not think it's going to happen this year. Cole Bernard, he's been getting big air all season long, but not as big as these other competitors, so sadly I think he'll miss out. Michael Pagliarulo in Excalibur, he's also gotten big air this year, but sadly I think he'll have to miss out as well. Camden Murphy in Classroom Crusher, just not as consistent or as big of air as some of these other drivers on the list. Tyler Menninga, just not been his year this year, not getting as much big air, except for Indianapolis Show 2. So I just do not think this will be the year for Tyler Menninga in Gravedigger. Also, I forgot to put on this list was Weston Anderson in Gravedigger. I also don't think he'll make it in this year because he isn't competing in arenas. If he was competing in stadiums, he would definitely make it in. But because he is competing in arenas, I definitely do not think he'll make it in this year, sadly, despite some of the big air he got in Tacoma and Fargo. One last thing, we also, talking about this, the format needs to go. I'm really hoping we get a last-minute change of this World Finals format, and we can see a change to go back to the original two-day format that we saw in World Finals 20 and 21. We're long overdue having that format return, because I'm really hoping we go back to that format instead of having this weird two-day format that's really unfair because of fan judging and unfair racing and truck breakage from freestyle for the people who freestyle on night one who are going to have to race the next day. This format, I've heard to keep an open mind about it from like drivers and even some fans. But I honestly think that we need to get this format out of here because it's too unfair. It's not going to work. It's going to be a disaster. So I am really hoping this format gets removed and we go back to the old school format that we had, the original peak two-day format that we've all come to know and love, that we saw from World Finals 15 all the way through World Finals 21, as we definitely need that format to return. So anybody at Monster Jam or Feld Entertainment, if you see this, please, if you don't do anything from this video, anything else with lineups and stuff like that, at least, please do this, and please get rid of this stupid format, please. As it is stupid, unfair, and will just cause a lot of problems. Another thing we could hope for the format to get changed, we just gotta hope the weather and it somehow rains and it puts a damper and everything and all the plans and the schedule has to change, kind of like how we saw in World Finals 21 from 3 years ago in Orlando with the rain. So let's hope that maybe they can fix that schedule format due to the weather. Hopefully Saturday just gets a complete rain out to where we either have no event at all or just the racing competition, and then we just push everything else on Sunday. So that's what we're hoping, and that's what I hope, and that's what we definitely want to see. Alright, everybody, it's been a long video, but that is it for my everything I want to see for the Monster Jam World Finals this year. I'm really hoping this stuff gets considered, and I really hope we get to see this stuff. I'm really hoping these lineups we see happen, and I'm also really hoping that format can get changed. I also cannot wait for all the cool new body schemes we could be seeing at World Finals as well. Well, it's going to be fun. I cannot wait for Monster World Finals. I do have my tickets. I will be going. I'm going to be there for the last chance qualifier on Thursday and for the full events on God bless me on Saturday and Friday. It's going to be fun celebrating 4th of July in Salt Lake City. I cannot wait. I'm going to be excited. I cannot wait to meet all the people in the Monster Jam community, all the people in the Jam fan, and also I cannot wait to hopefully meet some of you fans as well. But enough of me rambling on. My voice is exhausted and tired from all this talking and yapping I've done, and I'm also pretty hungry as it's about lunchtime. So, I hope everybody here likes, subscribe, and ring that notification bell so that you can be notified when more content from Monster World Finals 24 comes out. There will definitely be a lot more content. Maybe some behind-the-scenes stuff, some truck processions, pit party vlogs, the show. So hopefully, we cannot wait. You need to make sure you have that. You guys are like, subscribe, ring that notification bell. And also, everybody, just have a God bless day, and we'll see you all soon for some more Monster Jam content or Monster Truck content. Peace out.